What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to a brand new tier list. Today we're going to be doing Pokemon starters. From the looks of the list, it looks like they've got Gens 1 to 8, which suits me best anyway because I haven't played Scarlet and Violet, so I don't think the starters from Scarlet and Violet are here. As I've said before also in previous Pokemon videos, I'm not really 100% fully familiar with like later gens, but I do roughly know all these guys, plus I've got a list of their exact names beside me to help me. I'm going to try to do it from Gen 1 upwards. I'm going to try to do it in order. If I end up messing that up, I do apologise. Obviously we've got, this is GOAT here essentially. I'm going to just change this to GOAT. And then what will happen then down here is just trash. There might be some in here. There might be some trash in here, that's for sure. I'm going to begin with, obviously we said Gen 1. We'll go with Bulbasaur. Now, there will be bias here. Remember, this is only my personal opinion. I love Gen 1 so much, it's unreal. I'm going to put Bulbasaur A+. Like, I could have easily just put all three Gen 1 starters in the GOAT and just listen to people cry about it. But I'm going to be fair, Bulbasaur, he would be my least picked starter out of the three in the original Pokemon games, so you have to base it on that. I do love Ivysaur, Venusaur, like the created Pokemon cards I've got of Venusaur are probably some of the best cards I've got. So Bulbasaur is still an A+ for me, he's absolutely iconic. We'll go Charmander next, he's a GOAT. Not just even Charmander, but when you get to Charizard, Charizard is essentially the unofficial mascot of everything. He's like definitely the unofficial mascot of the Pokemon trading card game. Doesn't matter what set they bring out, doesn't matter if it's a Gen 10 set, doesn't matter if it's a Gen 8 set, it does not matter because you can bet there's going to be a shiny Charizard in it for people to just salivate over and want. Charmander is just a brilliant Pokemon. The whole thing as well, like he's got a backstory. If the flame on his tail goes out, he'll sadly pass away. Like that's just tragic. He's just brilliant, and he's probably the most popular starter in the original games. Not for me personally, but he probably is overall. Squirtle, obviously I've shown before, you can't see it probably, I've got a tattoo of him on my arm. He's a GOAT, he's going here. He'll be the top out of everybody, but everybody else will not be ranked. He's just fantastic. Everything about Squirtle is just legendary to me. I've loved him ever since I was a kid. I always picked Squirtle as my starter in Pokemon Red and Blue. He hard carried like everything about my childhood. It's like all the Pokemon cards I had of him. I've also got a graded Blastoise and a graded Charizard as well. I just love Squirtle so much, and when it came time to get a Pokemon on my arm to go along beside my daughter's, which is obviously Eevee, it was an easy no-brainer for Squirtle. No-brainer at all. There might be over 1,000 Pokemon, but Squirtle is my GOAT, 100%. Now, I'm going to get into Gen 2, and I will say this, the Gen 2 games, Gold and Silver and then Heart Gold and Soul Silver, are my favourite gen, overall my favourite gen. I love that generation so much. Maybe not the starters as much as the Gen 1 starters, but in terms of gameplay and all for them games, it's, in my opinion, so much better. Chikorita, I do feel bad for Chikorita. I do feel like I'm going to say the word shit on quite a lot. I'm going to go for B. It's probably fair, like, a lot of people doing this would probably have Chikorita even lower down from some of the things I've heard people say about poor Chikorita. But like at the end of the day, like, it's still iconic. And I'm also noticing we don't have Pikachu here either. Pikachu would have been a GOAT as well. Don't forget, I don't make these lists, I just use other people's. So Chikorita is a fantastic Pokemon. Meganium as well, absolutely legendary. Like I do have about 4 or 5 first edition Pokemon cards from Johto, and first edition Meganium graded is one of them. So like I have a little place in my heart for Meganium. Out of all the starters, I only have the first gen and second gen as Pokemon cards, and the second gen is all first editions. So I have a soft spot for Gen 2 as well. Who have we got? We'll go Totodile next if I can find him. Totodile is an A+. He's probably my most picked out of Gen 2. I absolutely love Totodile. Feraligatr is such a good Pokemon. And honestly, his Pokemon card design, in his very first Pokemon card design, and he actually had 2 cards in the Johto set, the Neo Genesis set I think it was called. It's just unreal. I absolutely love Totodile. I know another Poketuber that I watch United Gamer or United Hayes. His favourite Pokemon's Totodile as well. He's iconic. I couldn't put him in GOAT tier because I don't consider him on the same level as Pikachu, Charmander, Squirtle. But honestly, nobody else in this list is going to be up there. Like, it's just how it is. I'm very precise. There's no point in filling everybody with GOAT because you can't be the greatest of all time if you're sharing that spot with 7 or 8 people. So, like, we're at least 2 will physically be here for the whole time, and then obviously Pikachu would have been here. Totodile is just a tier below. That's still pretty damn good because there has been some terrible Pokemon. We've got Cyndaquil next. Where's our guy gonna go? A plus as well. Like, as I said, like, this is my gen. My shiny Typhlosion Pokemon card is probably one of my favourites. He's absolutely brilliant. He's also one of the more expensive ones because people just love Typhlosion. Cyndaquil's so cute. Like, obviously he's got the Charmander thing going on, but he can actually retract his flames, which is pretty cool. Obviously Typhlosion in the later generations got like a dual ghost type, which is so cool. His flames are purple. I just absolutely love it. So, like, I think it's fair for him to go into A+. Right. Gen 3, obviously we've got Draco, Mudkip, and Torchic. Torchic, I'm gonna go B. Torchic is B. I would be shocked if all these guys aren't B as well. Mudkip will be higher. Torchic, I think, is fine there. To be honest, I don't see how. I don't think he can go any higher than that. He's alright. Like, I like Torchic. Ruby and Sapphire, I played a good bit now because of randomised Nuzlocke and all, but, like, it's not my most familiar game. But for absolute sure, like, he's good. He's a good Pokemon. Where's Draco? Where's it? Right, him. He's an A. Like, I think he finishes off as Sceptile. Sceptile is literally such a badass Pokemon. It really is. He's probably one of the. For a grass type, he's probably the most popular grass type starter. Compared to the first 3 generations, because nobody was picking Chikorita, nobody was picking Bulbasaur, but he finally came along and he made it actually cool to pick the grass type. So fair play to him. And then we've got Mudkip. Mudkip is an A+. Mudkip all the way up to Marshtomp. Marshtomp obviously dual typing. First time we had dual typing in a Pokemon game, he was a complete monster. He was probably the most popular starter at Gen 3. After this, I probably won't have as much knowledge, if any knowledge, of any of the rest of them, so I do apologise for that. So, just making sure I definitely got Torchic right, because there's a couple here that look like a Torchic. But yeah, like, he's definitely an A+. He's definitely on par with these 3. I don't know, because Bulbasaur definitely deserves to be top of A+, but that was the bias coming out again. Gen 4, we have got Turtwig. Yes, I did say that in an accent just for comedic effect. What we got, I think you're trash, buddy, I'm sorry. You're the first C. I just didn't like him, to be honest. I did briefly play, I did briefly play Diamond and Pearl. I have said on this channel multiple times, I do not like those games at all. It is, my opinion, the worst Pokemon games they've done. It's far too long-winded, like, and it just isn't fun, and the gameplay is so slow, even fast forward on it just feels like you're walking at a normal pace. So it's probably, as I said, this is the opposite of bias. This is probably poisoning my opinions on these guys, but C is fair for him. Then we have got Plop, obviously, for anyone that is going to watch the Radical Red series that's going to be coming out. Primplop was one of my guys. He was one of the Pokemon I got. Piplup. Yeah, I can't say it. Sorry. I like him. He's an A. He's definitely an A. He's not on par with these guys once again. Now, I think the first 2 sections are locked. I can't see anybody else make it. I know there will be one more Pokemon up there. An A's fair enough. I do adore penguins now, so I'm very biased towards that. And obviously Empoleon is the last evolution of Empoleon. Such a boss, he really is. He just looks like a big, badass emperor penguin who could destroy you. So yeah, A is definitely fair for you. And then we've got Chimchar. Obviously Chimchar is U. I actually like Chimchar, I have to say. No, Chimchar's fair in A as well. For these 2 to make it to A, in my opinion, the worst generation of Pokemon, that's fair enough. Like, you can't really argue it. I know, obviously, Gen 4 did have Palkia and Dialga, but the legendaries cannot carry an entire generation, in my opinion. These 2, they're good enough. They're not top tier, but they're still definitely good enough. On to Gen 5. This is Pokemon Black and White. Just need to see their names. Oshawott? Right, obviously that's you. Nah. I do think, like, I think for all the water type starters up until this point, they tried to keep obviously going for the animal theme. Obviously you've got a turtle, you've got a crocodile, you've got a penguin, well, whatever Mudkip is officially, and then obviously you wanted a sea otter. I get it, but it seems like the laziest. It literally is just a sea otter painted blue. You could probably argue he's just a penguin painted blue, and so on and so forth. But it was dull. I didn't like Black and White either, to be honest. I only made it free Black and White on a playthrough because I randomised it. I couldn't, the base game just bored the life out of me. I needed that bit of extra suspense for a Nuzlocke. I just didn't think it was good enough. So B's fair for him. We've got Snivy, which is obviously this grass Pokemon. Nah, I don't want to put any of them in D. Oh, it's harsh. We'll go C. I'm not trying to put any in D or E. It's harsh. Oh no, there is one coming up for D at least. He's trash. It's probably a bit unfair that a lot of grass Pokemon are in the probably bottom half of the table. But like that is the way Pokemon designed it. They always made it that the grass the water and the fire were cooler. Like that is the way Pokemon designed it. I don't know why. They got it right the odd time with Trico, but that was really it. Every other time they just didn't put in any effort at all. I'm starting to feel bad for Chikorita. I think Chikorita should be an A, to be honest. Because it is my personal opinion, so Chikorita's an A. Sorry. Moved up in the word, fair enough. And then obviously we have got Pig. He is the pig. He's just a fire pig essentially. Yeah, nah, you're a C as well. I'm sorry, these gens are really they just weren't doing it for me at all. I'm not a fan. I have nothing else to say about it, it's just trash. I'm sorry, we're halfway through the gens now, more than halfway. Right, we've obviously got Froakie here. Froakie is an A. I love Froakie, I have to say. His evolutions are fantastic. He's like at least free. There's only one option in my opinion, like for who you pick as your starter. It is your man himself. If I'm pronouncing any of this, I do apologise. But it is what it is. We've got Finnegan. Finnegan is your fire type. Finnegan goes into Delphox, I think, doesn't it? I could be wrong on that. I do apologise if I am wrong. But like as I said, my knowledge, I do love Delphox. I'm my Alpha Sapphire playthrough coming out soon. Delphox was a hard carry for a lot of stuff. We'll go, I can't put everybody at A. We'll go B. You're better than most, but at the end of the day, you're still part of another boring game. I didn't like X and Y either. Like that's the thing, and that's I wasn't really watching the anime at this point, so I didn't really have that type of connection with some of these Pokemon. But we'll go B. B's a good score. It's middle range, and then obviously we've got our little fella right here, Chespin. Chespin. We'll go B as well because I actually like you. I think he's a cool Pokemon. I think Pokemon once again could have done more with him, but like I just think they've given up making starters like so cool. Like you just look at the final evolutions of the Gen 1s, like a Blastoise with cannons on the back, Charizard, obviously Charizard, Mega Charizard, even Venusaur, like having an entire grass city growing out of his back, and then you think this just got so dull for a while. It just did, but that's what Pokemon do. They just like copy and paste every single game. No offense if you ever want to sponsor. Right, here we go for the first one that's going to be below a D probably. I'm sorry, Rowlet. And yes, it is a grass type of game. I might actually quick fire this one because that was rough. Sun and Moon. Yeah, I'm sorry, this was trash. Like this was just hot garbage right now. We literally, for an entire gen, I literally just had 2 Ds and an E. Like, I don't think this cannot physically be beat. That is the worst gen, for sure. See, if I was doing these as like just like ranking actual gens as opposed to individual Pokemon, like these would all be in probably D. D would drag them up. You'd obviously have your goats would be Gen 1 and everybody else would be Gen 2 or A and B. But at the end of the day, it's just not good enough. I'm sorry. It's like, Rowlet especially, Rowlet, Papilio, and Litten, you just are trash. Another trash game. I didn't enjoy Pokemon game for like 5-6 years. Like, I really didn't. I'm trying to find... Right. Now, this one is interesting. Obviously, I did play Sword and Shield. I actually really enjoyed it. Croaky, as well. I got a little special connection with Croaky because on my first victory on Pokerogue, Croaky obviously was relevant by the end, but he was hard carrying, he was badass. I'm putting him an A+. I love him. I love him to bits. His moveset is actually crazy. See, when you compare it to certain movesets from certain gens, like Croaky was just so badass, learning all the powerful fighting grass type moves. Like that was giving me great coverage for loads of Pokemon, especially in Rogue. So he's an A+ for sure. Obviously bias is coming into play here, but I actually played Sword and Shield all the way through. I didn't make it all the way through these other games, so I decided Gen 1, 2 and 3, and then up to Gen 8. They're the 8 Pokemon games I completed, and then I completed Black and White as a randomizer. I didn't complete Diamond, didn't complete Sun and Moon, didn't complete X and Y. I just didn't like them. I just couldn't get through them, even the randomizer. It's like, this is dull as hell. So that is probably biased. It's the first Pokemon game I've completed in like over 10 years. Who is it? What's his name? Scorbunny? Yeah, Scorbunny is another GOAT. Which probably sounds crazy when we're comparing the Gen 1ers, but Scorbunny is who I chose in my first playthrough of Sword and Shield. My daughter is obsessed with bunnies. I named it Eevee, and it just hard carries you the whole way through the game. Like, you don't really have to switch it up at all. Like, I had bloody I don't know what this top evolution's called. I had the top evolution of Scorbunny out fighting the Turnitus, and he won. It's like, so, you cannot do it. Like, see, most of these games, probably all these games, your starter, like, he's a brain Pokemon to have, he'll carry you all the way. But see, by the end of the game, you're usually using someone else who's more powerful. That wasn't the case for me in Pokemon Sword, that's for absolute sure. I love him. And then, I'm not going to be unfair to Sobble. I never used him. I haven't really even seen his fully evolved. I won't be unfair to him. I think that was a good gen for starters. I'll put him at A. It was a good gen for starters. I cannot argue that. But I don't have much details on him. Like, he's the least used out of the least free. But for a gen 8, for there to be 1, 2, 3 in the top half, fair play, return to the form. I think they went backwards from what I'm hearing in Scarlet and Violet, because obviously I haven't played them, I can't give an honest opinion, but it does sound like they went backwards. But they seem to be getting there again with the difference in games and maybe upping the quality a bit. But that is my list, guys. Obviously, as you can see, Squirtle is just top of GOAT tier. He's the only one actually like in order. Well, actually that's a lie, because Bulbasaur's in order for A+, and Chicory's in order for A's. But that outside of them, everybody else is just random. Squirtle will always be the GOAT. There will not be another starter brought out. We could be on Gen 20, and there will not be a better starter than Squirtle. In my opinion, there won't be a better Pokemon than Squirtle, but I am so biased. But thanks for watching, guys. Pop down in the comments below who your favourites are. You don't have to do a whole tier list. Just like let me know who your favourite is, who are your GOATs even. Like, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, do all that stuff you guys like to do. And I shall see you on the next one.